for our newest position. Today, we're letting many different stakeholders interview for a position within our company. The first stakeholder is Megan Cotreau. Megan is currently an employee of the company, and we treat her well by doing quarterly reports, seeing how satisfied she is with work. Second stakeholder is Matthew Dawes. Matthew is currently a client of RBC, and we do external client satisfaction surveys to see how his relationship with RBC is. Our final interviewee is Kevin DeWolf. Kevin is an investor in RBC, and we have an investors relationship team that deals with Kevin directly. What kind of organizational structure does RBC use?
RBC uses a multi-divisional structure. The structure is composed of a CEO, corporate managers, divisional managers, and functional managers. This type of structure is ideal for increasing organizational effectiveness, which is extremely important for an organization with over 81,000 employees like myself. It is crucial for the organization to maintain its effectiveness. Having many different people to report to leads to control of the organization. Multi-divisional structures allow for specialization, which then maintains the level of effectiveness in such a large organization such as RBC.
Great answer. All right, what external forces do you believe that clients are most concerned with at RBC?
There are a number of forces that affect RBC specifically. Three ones that we're going to I'd like to address are economic, political, and international. So domestic policy dictates regulation of banking procedures, pricing, antitrust laws, as well as regulations regarding employment, such as wages. International forces are heavily influenced by the political world and have significant impact upon the banking sector and, in turn, RBC. An example of this is the reworking of the NAFTA agreement, which could mean significant changes in interest rates affecting investment, economic stability, and the ability of Canadian banks to effectively work between Canadian and US interests. In that way, you see politics influenced in both international and both the international and the economy. Additionally, in recent years, we've seen the introduction of tap technology, online banking, e-transfer, and online currency. They're just some of the technological forces that banks such as RBC have had to deal with. Additionally, people in age groups 18 to 25 and 25 to 35 are growing older, and they have a preference for both online and mobile banking. So as those people grow up and those trends change, RBC is going to have a lot of different forces that it's going to have to keep up with.
Say RBC's decisions are programmed or non-programmed. Megan?
Yes, their decisions are programmed. In an organization with as many clients and workers as RBC, their decisions tend to be programmed. Routine and repetition are essential to keep their employees and customers satisfied, with the exception of planned change. An organization cannot grow if it doesn't make certain changes to keep up with the standards and the competition.
What have you guys heard about the organizational culture at RBC?
That's a great question. Here at RBC, the importance of our culture is our success. Has long been recognized outside our RBC. Behind all the numbers and measure our performances is a culture based on strong values where we stress service, teamwork, responsibility, diversity, and integrity. Our people put into action every day our vision to always earn the right to be our client's first choice. Provides an enriching employee experience with competitive compensation, flexible benefit programs, training, career development, opportunities, and work-life support. RBC wants to attract and retain talented people and ensure that not only the company wins, but everyone wins altogether.
As you all probably know, organizations can be mechanistic or organic in some cases. Which one did you say RBC is?
RBC is actually quite unique in its structure in that it doesn't quite neatly fit into the box of either being mechanistic or organic. It tends to borrow elements from both. As one of the largest banks in Canada, its structure is quite complex, largely reflecting that of a multi-divisional structure. Due to their size and their complexity of their operations, they also require high levels of differentiation as well as integration. And although those attributes reflect that of an organic structure, it's important to note that the centrality of their decision-making processes and their standardization is indicative of a mechanistic structure.
What is the environmental uncertainty surrounding RBC?
The general environment that RBC functions within is quite complex and it's quite interconnected, so it's quite high in complexity. Dynamism, so a lot of the changes within the banking sector usually seem to happen like at a relatively slow pace, with the exception of technological forces, crises, and unique events. They say that the exception to the rule is the norm. As such, the dynamicism is medium to high within the industry. And lastly, richness. RBC is the largest financial institution in Canada with nearly $85 billion. As such, it's able to mitigate a lot of different levels of that uncertainty as it comes. So overall, there is medium to high uncertainty within the company, but a lot of that is mitigated through the richness of the company.